Hi, I'm Ian Ziering, and you're listening to Brigade-Radio-One.
You're listening to Brigade-Radio-One. A Halloween story. It sounds like...
And then the dog came out of the mist. And you know what?
Dog's got personality.
It's better than the new Halloween story that I saw last night.
What's the situation with the new Halloween? How'd you like it?
How is this any different than any other Halloween sequel? I guess because the filmmakers, Danny McBride and David Marshall Green, I think,
brought in John Carpenter to do John Carpenter's score all over again.
Yeah, but the score was great. But I just thought that they were going to bring, because they were coming from a different angle. They're comedy guys.
Mm-hmm.
They love the original movie, and apparently they went to him with an idea. I just thought it was going to be something more, when in fact it was just a Halloween movie.
Right.
And it made some real dumb moves. And
well, break it down for the audience. Okay, well, I have not seen it, so. This erases all the pre-existing sequels.
It starts as if in the original movie, Dr. Loomis blows him off that balcony, and in the original movie, he then looked away, and when he looked back down at the grass below, Michael Myers was gone.
Right.
In this one, he was caught, and they set up Will Patton's character as a cop who was the cop on the scene who caught him. So he's been in captivity for 40 years, and two new people who do like a podcast, like a making a murderer podcast.
Yeah.
Apparently they're obsessed with this case, and they go and interview him, and Laurie Strode is now, she's been waiting for this day to come, and she's all prepared, and she is, in a way, it's the John Connor story.
Yeah, she's got the armaments.
She's got the armaments.
In a Mexican ditch.
Yes, and she's been, it's really
I've been working out waiting.
That's exactly what it is. First of all, I don't like to see her in her advanced years, just because it reminds me of mine, and I want to think of her. But it really is just like Terminator, where everybody thinks she's a nutball, and then of course he escapes, and he escapes in a way that is certainly similar to the, it's like people driving down the road, and there are all these mental patients in smocks wandering around the road. But it's just like I thought that they were going to bring some new attitude or some new meta appreciation, and it's really just it reminded me a lot of Halloween 2.
Really?
And
so, go ahead.
I mean, it's just like I was, and people act basically no smarter than anybody else in a Halloween movie or a slasher movie. I mean,
right.
And
let's go hide in the cellar.
Well, I mean, it's like it has a couple quips, but it also has these odd pieces of character that are kind of sort of jar with the rest of the movie. Like there's suddenly in the middle of the movie, there's a little 15-second thing between two deputies sitting as they're waiting for something to happen, and they're talking about sandwiches, and it's a little. First of all, we've never met these two guys before. Second of all, nobody else in the movie. There are two interesting character things, and I say interesting only because the rest of the movie was kind of very straightforward and a little boring.
For some reason, I thought of that Canyonero clip from The Simpsons with the two. But it is. I think that's part of what Tarantino's done to young filmmakers.
Right.
Is he's like, well, why don't you spice it up with some comedic, conversational
exactly,
side of life.
And you know what? That was fine, but the rest of the movie wasn't that.
Right.
I mean, it had a couple. It was really. I was really, and I think the audience. And then it just ends. It feels like there was some piece of story that was excised from the cut, because you feel like there's going to be some sort of reveal about what this all means and why they're telling it this story and revisiting. And it's like, no.
Can I break this down with
Yes.
you? All right. So he breaks out after 40 years. Why the 40-year mark? Is it suddenly now he's got his opportunity to make the escape, like a little
right?
Clint Eastwood's Alcatraz?
And they make it, and it was 40 years ago tonight. It's like,
of course.
Okay.
Timely fashion.
Yes.
And is he held in a supermax prison somewhere near Haddonfield?
He's in, yes, but the geography is not particularly critical.
Now Loda Hadley, actually, I won't say anything on the air, but she's got the next Halloween movie sequel already worked out.
You better subscribe to this channel before you look uncool.